Welcome to today's episode. As Bangladesh stands at a political crossroads, a critical question has once again taken center stage. When will the national election be held? December or June? Political tensions and strategic ambiguity from all sides. This episode explores the battle lines being drawn between the interim government and the BNP and what it means for Bangladesh's future. Let's dive in. Bangladesh's political landscape is heating up again around the question of national elections. As the year reaches its midpoint, the debate over whether elections will be held in December or June is triggering a kind of silent tension across the country, especially between the BNP and the interim government. The relationship seems tight, full of both strain and possibilities. The BNP is no longer just a political party. It has positioned itself as a symbol, a representative of segment of the nation that believes it holds a pivotal responsibility in shaping the country's direction. The demand is clear. General elections must be held by December. To this end, they have extended a sort of tactical patience, giving the government until June to lay out a clear electoral roadmap. It's a less of an ultimatum, more of a political reminder. If no roadmap emerges, the party warns of a street mobilization beginning in July. The message is subtle but unmistakable. On the other hand, the interim government's position is that elections can take place anytime between December and June. During a recent trip to Tokyo, Chief Advisor Dr. Yunus stated that only one political party is insisting on a December election, implying that the majority aren't. These comments stirred intense political reactions back home. According to the BNP, more than 50 parties have expressed a desire for elections within this year. This divergence of narrative is evolving beyond statements and becoming a potential democratic showdown. After 9 months in power, the BNP argues that the interim government has yet to deliver on its promised reforms. Instead, they allege that the word reform is being used as a delaying tactic to buy time. At the same time, political fault lines are emerging more clearly. On one side, the BNP and its allies demanding elections by December. On the other, Islamist parties like Jamaat Islami and Islami Andolun who want elections before or after Ramadan. Then there is the NCP, which insists on reforms and justice before an election. As August 5, the anniversary of Sheikh Hasina's ouster approaches, it adds symbolic weight to political planning. That demarks 1 year since the former Prime Minister was removed by a student-led uprising, later leaving for India. BNP and other parties are reportedly preparing significant programs to mark the day, but the BNP's internal tone is not monolithic. While Tarique Rahman delivers strong warnings, saying elections must happen in December or not at all, Khaleda Zia's public message is more tempered and hopeful, suggesting that democracy will return soon. This dual tone approach reflects a kind of strategic ambiguity, giving the party flexibility to adapt as needed. In the military sphere, recent statements from the army chief also hint at a preference for elections by December. While not explicitly targeting any party, many interpreted this as a signal to all political actors. Although the military remains neutral publicly, it seems to be leaning toward a quick and acceptable election process. Back to Dr. Yunus' comment. Tritiyo. Many are now questioning the justification for postponement. What reforms can truly be achieved in 6 months that couldn't be done by December? As one observer remarked, it's like arguing whether mangoes ripen better in June or December. They are edible in both months. So why wait? Some BNP leaders feel the Yunus government no longer trusts them and is instead leaning toward newer political platforms like the NCP, which has easier access to the chief advisor. In contrast, BNP needs to wait several days for appointments. This imbalance is reportedly fueling BNP's resolve and their repeated demand elections must be held by December. The growing agitation is also echoing internationally. India's Ministry of External Affairs recently stated that Bangladesh should hold an inclusive and credible election as soon as possible, reflecting the people's mandate. This view directly contrasts with the interim government's stance on delaying the polls. It's clear now that the political divide over election timing is deepening. The BNP has issued a time bound demand, while the government is sticking to a broader timeline. Meanwhile, speculation is rising that Dr. Yunus may step down, though no official confirmation has emerged. In the end, the upcoming election is no longer a routine constitutional exercise. It has become the sole pathway to redefining Bangladesh's power structure. Whether it's held in December or June could determine who gains the upper hand, BNP or the so-called reform-minded interim coalition. Resolving this standoff will depend entirely on how soon and how credibly a national consensus is reached. For now, the clock is ticking. For the government, for the BNP, for the NCP, and for the people of Bangladesh. So, who will win this time game? That remains the defining question of the moment. As political tension builds and public passions wears thin, all eyes remain on the election clock. Will it stop in December or move to June? Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged. Thank you for listening.